Welcome to this week's OK at Work with myself, Sarah Sawyer, and my colleague Russell Berger, both attorneys at Offit Kurman. And today we are talking about a proposal that is happening in Maryland. Right now, it's the legislative session in Maryland for 2023. And there is a bill proposed that relates to a 4-day work week, essentially tax credit, where the people who are proposing the bill would subsidize employers that choose to experiment with a 4-day work week. And when we're talking about 4-day work week, we're talking about 32 hours. So 4 8-hour work days. Often when we've heard about 4-day work weeks, sometimes I know the federal government will do that, or certain employees, will do a 4-day work week, and it's actually, 4 10-hour days. Well, this bill is if you reduce people's hours to 32 hours and you keep their pay the same, and their benefits the same, and still treat them as full-time workers. So some interesting things coming out of the legislative session already, and it's only February, but what are your thoughts on this, Russell?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not sold on the benefit of that approach to an employer. Pay everyone the same and have them work one fewer day a week. Um, you know, I- that's a big gamble on, well, there's just, there's 8 hours worth of inefficiency in a week, and somehow by reducing the schedule down to 4 days a week, we'll cut all of it out. That's essentially what this program is suggesting, but the government will pay basically that fifth day that you're still paying if you experiment with this. So be that as it may, I'm not too sold on this pilot programming being all that engaging or um, beneficial to businesses unless you want to find a way to reduce. You don't need a full-time person, you need a 30 or a 40-hour person, you need a 32-hour person, and you don't want to cut the person's pay. You can find a way for the government to bridge that gap, which I don't think is the point of this being proposed in the General Assembly. What I do think, though, is it raises the question, and it's a good question for employers as to what can we do from a hybrid standpoint, from a um, you know different method of working standpoint that employees will appreciate and will keep productivity the same. And that's going to differ from company to company, but I think that's a really worthwhile analysis for each company to do because employees are becoming conditioned to expecting that and to wanting that. And especially as we have learned in the pandemic, in a lot of ways it can be done. So it's really something worth thinking about strategically for your business.
Yeah, I think that's really where a lot of this has been stemming from. I know we've talked on here a lot about trends as far as flexible work schedules and different benefits that people can provide employees, and it really has been a big trend to explore those options since remote work has been so popular, and also just given the recruiting market. So I know that that's been a point that's been made as well, by some business owners exploring this, that people who have been exploring this prior to this bill, they're exploring flexible work to try to get additional employees and give themselves a foot up in the, or leg up, I should say, in the recruiting field in a crowded field. So I think that's been some of what the experimenting around these flexible schedules, kind of where it started. And now, just getting a little bit more formalized and getting vetted before the General Assembly right now. So,
Yeah. Right, because whether it's a 4-day work week or a in-office hybrid with remote work or all remote, or like the government model of work 10, 9 hour days and take the 10th day off kind of thing. There's all different ways to get there and different considerations. For employers to work through, and I really think they should, because to your point, it can really be a competitive advantage.
yeah, and a key to this that we'll wrap up is that, from the headlines, you may not be able to tell this, but this would be a voluntary tax credit situation. This is not anything that they're looking to mandate. So I know that's something that might be a little sticker shock when you kind of look at the little shocking if you look at the headlines, like that this might be something that's coming to Maryland, but it would be an optional situation. So, well, thanks, Russell. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sarah.